Hi, it's Chris from Crochet Recreations by Chris Loves Crochet, and it is the season of the granny. So I'm gonna jump in on it, and I think everybody's been tagged because everybody starts off by saying everybody's tagged. So join in on the fun, and this is something that was started by, not started, was developed by. Um, Glenda from Creative Grandma and Krista from the Secret Yarnery. And it's anything granny square. Anything granny square. The simple granny square, an ornate granny square, just a granny square, slippers, scarves, Afghans, whatever you want to do, you can do. And we need to get our videos out on or before March 18th. So what I'm going to do today is to show you the granny, just the square, that I'm going to use to make just a little, not a whole Afghan, it's not a lapgan, it's a throw. It's a throw. And I somehow have lost my sunflower little throw. I don't know what happened to it. I took it to school and maybe somebody needed it more than I did. You know, that happens sometimes and that's fine. So I'm going to make another one with the yarn that I have, because this is also kind of going, I think it's fishtailing in a little bit with Krista's stash busting. So I tried to find some of the yarns that I had, and luckily I had some that I think are going to work pretty well. And so let's get started on the granny. I'm going to show you one, and then before the 18th I'll show you that throw, and I will show you anything. I need some more slippers, so I'm probably going to make some granny slippers. And I have another bedspread that are 4 giant granny squares. I'll probably show you that. And whatever else I come up with, I don't know. I'm not a big granny fan. Not a big granny fan. I like to do things a little bit different, but I think that this is a great time for trying it and just really getting into the granny mode and see what happens. Since I am a granny now, you know. And anyway, so let's get started on my sunflower square. Okay. All right, so I have made one square already. It's not blocked or anything. I'm not sure if I'm going to block it before I put them together. But this is a sunflower. It really needs to be blocked though. Sunflower granny square that I got from Yarnspirations. And you're supposed to use Bernat, but I didn't have any, so I'm not. But this is, it's a free recipe. It's a free pattern on Yarnspirations. And let me get the name of it. But there's the chart if you want to, like, take a picture of your screen if you like to work with diagrams. Let's see, here it is. If you go online, then you'll be able to see it in color, but I printed it from home. Printed it from work, and so there's no color. But it says Bernat. It's called City Solarium Throw. City Solarium Throw. And this one is not a sunflower. It's just lots of different colors in the center that they do. So it's totally up to you. I took this and made it into a sunflower with the brown in the middle and the yellow petals and the green, and all of them are going to have these colors. So I'm only using 3 colors. And whatever you like for your brown in the middle. I would have liked to have gone darker than this, but this is the brown that I have. And this is Toast by Red Heart Soft. Color is Toast. It's number 4. Calls for a 5.5 millimeter, which is also what the pattern calls for. So, and this comes 256 yards. And then I have some leftover ice yarn. I have another green one, but this is the only yellow one that I have. So you need a yellow that you like for sunflower and a green that you like for the rest of the blanket. I think I don't know if I'm going to use green to connect or if I'm going to use black to connect the squares for a throw. But for right now, let's just look at the square itself. It starts off as a circle, and then we square it off. Right here. And here. See the squared off, the edges aren't until the very last round. It's pretty circular up until the very last round when we do that. So anyway, so I have a 5.5 millimeter, look, it matches, 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, pair of scissors, a bent embroidery needle. I just like them bent, they don't have to be, but something with a large eye that you can thread yarn into, and a stitch marker. You know me, you always have to have a stitch marker so that you can check your laundry. So you got to put your stitch marker in, hold your place, and go check your laundry. Okay, so I'm going to put this one aside, and this one is great in that the way I'm doing it is the first 2 rounds in the instructions, in the pattern, it has one color and then a second color for round 1 and 2. But I want that whole big middle to be brown, because that's what sunflowers have, that big giant brown center. And then those big yellow leaves. And then green, because, you know, the petals are, not the petals, the leaves are green. Taking my Perrier. Now I usually do a magic circle, but I want these circles to be uniform all the way through the pattern. So I'm going to do the chain 5, and that way I don't pull it all the way tight, and some of them are tighter than others. So I'm going to do the chain 5, 3, 4, 5, then go to the first chain, slip stitch, chain up 3, and that's your first double crochet. And this calls for 24 total double crochet, so we need to do 23 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, goodness, 19, 20, still need 4 more, so you notice that I have to keep pushing them back a little bit so that I have enough room in that circle. 21, 22, 23, and 24. And you'll notice I did sew over the tail, so I can pull it a little bit just to get it, I don't know, not too loosey-goosey. And then I'm going to count before I attach, before I slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. Okay, good. So you have to start with 24 because that's gonna lead you along through the whole project. So now what we're gonna do, this chain 3 was a double crochet, and so we're gonna slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. If I can. Oh my gosh, don't do that. I hate when they hide from me. And then I hate when I lose it. So we do a slip stitch there on the top of the chain 3. Now what we're going to do, we're on the chain 3, we're going to do another chain 3, 2, 3, and another chain. So it's 4 chains total because we're going to do double crochet in each stitch plus a chain 1. So we've already been in that stitch. We're going to the next stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. I'm going to do that all the way around. And when I get going on this, what I'm going to be doing is doing probably like 5 at a time, so I don't get too bored of it, but like 5 of the brown, and then which is 2 rounds, and then take these 5 and then do just the yellow, which is another 2 rounds, and then after I finish the brown and the yellow, then I'm going to get those 5 and do the green, which is another 2 rounds around the edge. So that way, I think as the assembly line kind of goes, it goes a little bit faster. You know what you're doing real quick. Then you just have to remind yourself as you do the first of the next color. I'm falling off the screen again. All right, so I'm going to finish that, and then we'll start the yellow. So when you get to the end, you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd of that 4 chain. We did a chain 4 to start, so to end this round, you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain and leave that 4th chain as your space. Okay, so I'll be back. All right, I finished the center of the sunflower, and so it's 2 rows, 2 rounds, and the first round has 24. And the second round has 24 double crochet as well, but it has a chain 1 in between each one. So you still should have 24 double crochet and 24 chain 1 spaces. So when I got to the end, I did a double crochet, chain 1, and then I slip stitch into the 3rd chain of that 4 chain starter. So now we've done, I don't know if you can see this. Okay, we've done rounds, what are you doing? Rounds 1 and 2, and now I'm going to get my yellow out and do round 3. And what round 3 is setting up for the petals. So round 3, we have a lot of chains going on. We have a long chain 11, and then some single crochets and a couple of chains, and then a big chain 11, and so we're going to end up with 8 chain 11s in this one, so with 8 of them. So then our second round, we're going to fill in the petals. All right, so we need our yellow. Do our little slip knot. Make sure you're still on the front, on the right side, not on the wrong side. This is all done on the right side. Go in where you just did your slip stitch. And there's really no way to sew over the ends on this because of all the skipping. So, can't do that. Can't do that. So we connect with a slip stitch, and then we chain up 1, and then do a single crochet. Okay, and I pull that in, lay that back. Then we do chain 2. We're going to skip this chain 1, and we're always skipping 2 stitches, so it might be a chain 1 and a double crochet, or it might be a double crochet and a chain 1. So this time we were in a stitch, so we're skipping the chain 1 and the double crochet, and we've chained 2, and we're going into this chain 1 space, do a single crochet, and now we're going to chain 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we come back into that same space and do another single crochet. Now we chain 2, and we're going to skip this double crochet and this chain 1 space and go into the double crochet. Whenever you go into the double crochet, then you don't do the chain 11. So we did chain 2, go into the double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, we end up in a space, single crochet, chain 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And another single crochet in that same chain space. So it's every other time you do your chain 2 and you do your single crochet that you do the chain 11. So the one that you don't make the chain 11 is in the stitch, chain 2, skip 2, go into the next space, single crochet, chain 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Come back into that same space, do a single crochet, chain 2, am I off the screen? Chain 2, go into, not this first double crochet, but the next double crochet, make a chain, make a single crochet, chain 2, skip this space in this double crochet, go into the chain 1 space, make a single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Back here, and single crochet, chain 2, go into the double crochet, chain 2, go into the chain 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Back into that space, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, after you skip 2. And so you're skipping either a space and a double crochet, or you're skipping a double crochet and a space, and they alternate each time. Okay, so now I'm in a space, and so I'm going to do the chain 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Back into that chain 1 space. Do a single crochet, chain 2. I'm skipping the double crochet in the chain 1, going into the double crochet, single crochet, chain 2. I'm skipping the space and the double crochet, go into the space, make a single crochet, chain 11. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Another single crochet in that same space, chain 2. Single crochet in the double crochet, chain 2. Single crochet in the space, chain 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Back to the same chain 1 space, do a single crochet. I put this brown yarn to the back, chain 2. Now we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we did. Slip stitch in there. And now we should have the beginnings of 8 petals. So this is where we are. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't look like petals yet. Now we need to do some double crochets around them. So all I did was slip stitch so far. Now I'm going to chain 1 and do in that same stitch a single crochet. Now I'm going to do, this first one is just 7 double crochets, and then 2 chain, and then 7 more double crochets, and then it changes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 2, and now 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 7. And try to just reach the bottom. If you don't need to, if you don't get down to the bottom, then just kind of stretch your stitches around until you get down to the bottom. So we finished, we did 7, and then a chain 2, and then 7 more double crochet. Then we come down to this single crochet that was in between all of these loops, and we do a single crochet. Okay, now what I'm going to show you now on this petal is the way you're going to do all the subsequent petals. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we need to slip stitch back to this one. And there's 2 reasons for it. So I just kind of flip it back and go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Go into this double crochet, slip stitch, holds the petals together, twist it back around, and right on that slip stitch you're going to be crocheting. So you need to do the slip stitch even if you like the way it looks all floppy. So you need to do that slip stitch there. So I've already done 3, then we need 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 2. Now we do 7 more down the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let me show you that one more time. So we're finished with that petal. We go in and it's attached. It's attached to the previous petal. So now we're going to single crochet in the single crochet, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets in the next loop. 1, 2, 3, and then I just flip it over here and go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 double crochets. I go up from the back, grab the yarn, pull it through and through to make a slip stitch. Flip it back around. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 2, and then 7 more down the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and single crochet into the single crochet. So you finish those, and on the last one, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the last one with you because there's an additional attachment we have to attach to the first one, the last one to the first one. So continue on those petals and I'll be back. So here we are on our last little petal, and we're going to start the same way, do 3 and then a slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, then we turn it around, go 1, 2, 3, go in from the back, do a slip stitch, flip it back around, around 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, chain, and now we go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we need to go up 3 over here, 1, 2, 3, go in from the back, do a slip stitch, and now we're kind of crowded in here, but we still have to finish this petal. So we need 2 more double crochets in there. So however you want to twist your work around and get to it, there's, let me show you that again. So here we're starting, this is where we connected, we're coming around here, connected here, and there's the rest of the chain, and we need to put 2 more double crochets in that chain. So I try to find a way to fold it over and get that chain sticking up. So there's 1, 2. Now we open it up, pull this down a little bit because we got a little empty chain there. Go to the first single crochet that we did. What's all that? First single crochet. Don't go behind it. Go first single crochet, pull it through, and do a slip stitch, and finish off. Those were our 2 rounds of yellow. So the way I'm going to do this is I would have like 4 more of the brown centers that I'm going to do the 2 rounds of yellow on and do an assembly line. Okay, so now we got to the green. This green is almost gone. And so now on the edge, so now it's very circular, right? So we're going to continue kind of in a circle and then do our 4 corners. So we need to start in, I just go to the very next one from where I finished off. We start in one of these chain 2s at the top of the petals, one of those chain 2s, go in and slip stitch, chain 1, do a single crochet. Put that back there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to single, wait a minute, around the brown, so we need to do that, and then we and then we do a chain, and then we do, see where this slip stitch was? So there's a little bar right there where we connected the 2 petals. There's a little bar right there that we're gonna stitch on, and we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets all in that spot. 2, 3, chain 1, 3 more, all in that spot. You might need to fold down the petal directly next to you, or you'll keep getting caught in it. 3. Now we chain 1, go into the next chain 2 here, do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all in that chain 2. Now we chain 1. Do we do that? Although we are always going to do that. This is our pattern throughout. So we find the next slip stitch, and we do 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, single crochet in this chain 2 at the top of the petal, chain 3, 2, 3, and another single crochet at the top of the petal, chain 1. There's a chain 1 in between the fan and then this chain 3 on top of that. Then we have a chain 1. Then we find our next one and we do 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and then chain 1, chain 1, 1, shoot, 2, 3, chain 1, go to this chain space here on top of the next petal, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, all in that chain 2. Then we chain 1 after that, and we do our 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Oops, I didn't fold that down. 2, 3, chain 1, single crochet at the top of the next petal, chain 3, single crochet at the top of the next petal, chain 1. Okay, so I'm going to finish this and I'll come back and show you how to end it and start the next round. Okay, so I've come up to the end of the first round of green almost. So I did the chain 3, not the chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, coming back to where we started. So we're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, and then slip stitch into this first single crochet that we did. Slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 1, and in that same stitch, where is it? Not in that same stitch. You're going to chain 1 and go to this, go to this chain 1 and do a single crochet. And then you're going to do single crochets all the way up. You're going to do a single crochet in 3 double crochets and a single crochet in the chain 1, and then a single crochet in the next 3 and the chain 1. Okay, so we've got that in that chain 1. Then we've got single crochet 1, 2, 3. There's a chain 1 between these 3 double crochet, so we need to put a single crochet there, and then we have 3 more double crochets that need a single crochet on them, and then a single crochet on this chain 1. Now we skip into this chain 3 and we do 3 single crochets. Now remember, this is the last round. We're going to go from a circle to a square. So after we do that, the 3 single crochets on that chain 3, we're skipping this. Whenever we do a corner, we're going to skip this single chain 1 and the one after the corner. So we're going to go into this chain 1 between these 2 sets of 3 double crochet, and we're going to do 5 double crochet, chain 3, 5 double crochet, all in this center. 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 3, and 5 more in that same space. 2, 2, 3, 4, still in that same space, 5. Now, that's our corner. That's our corner. So we did just the single crochets coming up here. That makes the straight line. And then we have a corner. And now we've got this edge. We need to make it a straight line. And then we have another corner. So every other one of these fans or shells or whatever of the 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, one of them is going to have single crochets through them, and then the next one is going to have a corner in it. Next one's going to have single crochets through them. Next one's going to have a corner in it. Okay? Okay. So we just did that corner. So I said at the beginning and after each of the corners, we skip this single chain. And we go right into this chain 3 and do 3 single crochets. We're going a straight line, so we're going to do a single crochet on that chain 1. And then 3 double crochets need a single crochet. And remember, we had that chain 1, it needs a single crochet. 3 more on the double crochets, we need single crochets. And on the chain 1. And then we need 3 more single crochets on this chain 3. Now we're fixing to do a corner, because this one we didn't do a corner, and they're every other one. So this one is the corner. So we're skipping this single chain and this chain 1. And we're just going to do a big old corner right here on this chain 1 between the 3 double crochets on each side. We're going to do 5 double crochets, chain 3, and 5 more. 4, 5, chain 3, and 5 more. To the same place. So whenever I stop and think, I flip my work too much when you guys are trying to follow me along, so I'm trying to keep it more steady. 2, 3, jeez, oh Pete's. 3, 4, and 5. Skip this chain 1 and go right to these 3. This chain 3 where we do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 2 corners, 1 straight side. We're going to do another straight side and then a corner, then a straight side and then a corner. So this is our straight side. So we do put a single crochet on the chain 1s and in every stitch. Got chain 1 in between these. Then we need a single crochet in these 3. We have a chain 1. We need a single crochet. Now we're at this chain 3. We do 3 single crochets. That's the straight side. So now we're at another corner. So we skip this chain 1 and this chain 1, and we do the big old corner in this space in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 chain, and 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the end, we skip that chain 1. We go right in here and do 3 single crochets. Okay, so now we're doing a straight side again. So we're going to put a single crochet on the chain 1, single crochet in all of these double crochets, and the chain 1 in between. And the chain 1, and then these 3. The chain 3, we do 3 single crochets. Now we have our last corner, so we're going to skip this chain 1, go into this space in between, and do a big old fat corner. So we're going to do 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 3, 2, 3, and 5 more double crochets. Coming off a corner, we skip that chain 1, and what do we have here? We have a chain 3 that we need to finish. Put 3 single crochets on that last chain 3, and then this is where we had our first, it's not in there, we had our first single crochet around the chain 1 space. So that's where we're going to slip stitch, chain 1, fasten off. And there it is. And I know it needs a lot of shaping. So I'll have to get my pins and my board out when I'm done with these. So that is the square that I'm doing. So if you want to come along with me and do a sunflower something or other, that's a sunflower square that I'm using. And then I'm going to put them together to make a throw. You can put them together to make, I don't know, a scarf or slippers or something, a pillow cover, I don't know. Or make this one and then make some different squares that are the same size as this. Hey, and there's a question, what size is this? I thought I saw it written somewhere. Let me see. The square is supposed to be about 8.5 inch square. Let's see how close it is. I don't think it's even close. So 8.5. So if we stretch it that much, let's see if we could. We can't. So with a 5.5, and after you stretch it and block it, you're going to end up with more like a 7 or a 7.5, or like a 7-inch square. So if you're going to do this one with some other ones, just make sure it's a 7-inch square. And I would also use the same crochet hook, use a 5.5, or use, if you're making some other ones, use that whatever crochet hook you're using for this one, and count the outside stitches so that you know that each side has the same amount, has the same number if you're going to connect them. So that's my advice to you. So make sure that you have a corner, and then you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, and then the chains in the corner. And in this case, there's 3. And there's 25 stitches in between. Okay? So, I hope that you enjoyed that, and please subscribe and like if you like. And I hope you learned something new. And we always have a choice, so please choose happy. Thank you. Bye.